A new system is needed in California that protects the interests of both the child and their parents by requiring parental consent for abortions given to any girl under the age of 18. The current system allows any girl under the age of 18 to obtain a legal abortion without the consent of her parents, thus endangering not only her physical but also mental health, and can trap an abuse victim in her situation for years. The first reason for this is common sense, or the first reason for change is common sense. 12, 14, and 15-year-olds are not allowed to marry, drink, drive, go to a tanning salon, get a tattoo, or even rent an R-rated movie, let alone see one, without their parents' permission, and sometimes not even then. Why do we do this? Because they are children, and they lack the emotional maturity to make these decisions on their own, or to even understand the impact that their decisions will have not only on themselves, but the world around them as well. 24 other states have parental consent laws, and they each have shown a decrease in the amount of teenage pregnancies and STDs in teenagers. I think we can all agree that these are both positive outcomes. Also, in a Fox News survey, it was shown that over 72% of people agreed that minors should have to get permission from a parent or guardian before having an abortion. Children should not be allowed to make a decision as important as an abortion if they can't even go to a school field trip without the consent of their parents. We differentiate between adults and children in this society, and for a good reason. If a child needs permission to make an important decision, such as marriage, should they also be required to obtain such permission for something as serious as abortion? The second claim is that the current system endangers the well-being of the child. In San Bernardino, not more than 50 miles from here, a 24-year-old man who had been sexually abusing his 12-year-old half-sister impregnated her and took her to get an abortion. The clinic where the abortion was performed did not report the abuse to the authorities, and the same man continued to live in the same house as the child for the next 4 years. The girl finally got the courage to tell her mother what was going on, and her parents reported the abuse to the police, and the man was sentenced to 14 years in prison. Did you know that as many as 70% of school-age pregnancies are fathered by adults averaging 22 to 23 years of age? The current system allows for these sick few among us, pedophiles and rapists, who take advantage of younger girls who get away with their crimes. By allowing the underage girls to obtain an abortion without the consent of their parents, we allow these abusers to hide their crimes by keeping the secret between the rapist and their victim. The Los Angeles Times reported that many abortion businesses are chop shops where substandard care results in injury and death. One study found that 1 in 10 women may experience immediate complications after an abortion. The health risks to teens are compounded when the parents are kept out of the loop. For example, good follow-up care can hardly be given by those who know their daughters. Good follow-up care can hardly be given by those who do not know their daughter's medical history best. Scratch that. Also, although abortion clinics are mandated reporters of sexual abuse, there have been far too many incidents where abuse has not been reported. In a study done by Life Dynamics, it was found that in over 800 phone calls placed by them to numerous Planned Parenthood clinics, reporting a 13-year-old girl impregnated by her 22-year-old boyfriend and wanting to conceal it, that in 90% of the calls, the abuse was not reported. And some workers even said that they were required to report the incident, but that they weren't going to. Not only do these clinics fail to report the abuse that they are required to report, they also employ doctors who have been disciplined by the state medical board for incompetence, negligence, and criminal misconduct, including sexual misconduct. This shows a total failure in the current abortion system and shows the need for change in the way we grant abortions to underage girls. Lastly is health. Making the decision to have an abortion is one of the most critical medical, let alone life decisions a woman can make. Yet, we allow children, those who cannot make the decision to receive aspirin from the emergency room without their parents' consent, to make this decision alone. Dr. Bruce Lucero, who has performed more than 45,000 abortions in his 15 years of practice, states, "A parent's input is the best guarantee that a teenager will make a decision that is correct for her. And it helps guarantee that if a teenager chooses to get an abortion, she will receive the appropriate medical care. Like any other medical procedure, complications can arise from an abortion." A California study of Medicaid records comparing over 170,000 women who either aborted or delivered their child showed these records, when compared, when linked to the death certificates for a period of 8 years, yielded the following. Overall death from all causes was 62% higher for those who aborted. Death from suicide was 154% higher. Death from accidents, 82% higher. Death from natural causes, 44% higher. Death from AIDS was 118% higher.
Death from circulatory disease was 187% higher, and death from strokes was 446% higher. Not only can, and that's for that's for the women that did abort. Not only can a parent provide the right guidance to the child, but they can also provide the doctor with complete medical history and can inform the doctor of any allergies or adverse reactions to medications to better protect the health of the child. The child will also feel more comfortable in telling their parents if there are any complications after the abortion, and that can potentially save the child's life. In February 1994, 15-year-old Sarah visited abortionist Maj Hashimovich's A-to-B Women's Service Clinic in Houston, Texas. An abortion was performed on Sarah, tearing the right side of her cervix. Sarah failed to get her parents' permission or to notify her parents of this abortion, and she suffered from blood poisoning, fever, chills, abdominal pain, and nausea for 4 days before finally being admitted to a hospital. And when hospital personnel discovered the tear and post-abortion infection, they placed her in an intensive care unit, but the infection was far too advanced that she died on March 2nd, 1994. Hospital physicians reported that had Sarah received prompt medical care, she would still be alive today. This is a perfect example of why parental consent should be required. How many children will have to suffer like Sarah before we learn that with, and only with, their parents' consent can a child receive the best medical care? Not only can there be numerous physical effects from abortion, there are equal negative emotional effects. It has been shown that post-abortion syndrome can lead to drug and alcohol abuse, personal relationship disorders, damaged self-esteem, and even attempted suicide. These symptoms have also been linked to detachment from one's parents by the American Psychological Association, thus showing a dangerous situation when combined. The California State Attorney's Board stated in a brief that to deny parents the opportunity, risks, or perpetuates estrangement or alienation from the child when she is in the greatest need of parental guidance and support, and denies all dignity to the family. So in order to protect our society of children from abuse and provide them with the best available medical care, we need to mandate parental consent for abortion for minors. Thank you.